bit behind the shadow. It's not actually the fault of our guest, but it has to do with some issues right here in the studio. But all things being equal, we won't be missing anything on Citizens from this one. It's very important that we talk about the issue of road safety to avoid unnecessary loss of lives and property. So far this year, even though we are just a few weeks to the end of 2016, but the data released by the Federal Road Safety Corps on week 47 of 2016 reports that 4,005 deaths have been recorded in 7,657 crashes on Nigerian roads. On at the end of week 47, 2016, that's alarming. But if you look at the figure for 2015, it's a bit encouraging because you find out that 5,400 deaths were recorded in the year 2015 in 12,077 road crashes. So you see that there is a kind of decrease in the number of road crashes, a very, very wide margin. Talking about what happened in 2016 and what happened last year, 2015, and also there is a huge reduction in the number of attendant deaths in the road crashes. But it's more than that because a lot of people will quickly blame the accident on dilapidated road infrastructure. Well, that's one issue, but it has also been established that road, whether they are smooth or not, oftentimes is not the cause. The number one cause of road accidents is a the human factor, and that's maybe overspeeding or disobedience to traffic signs and traffic rules or laws. And that is what we'll be looking at this morning, how to make sure that we have a hitch-free season during this Ember month. What are the campaigns carried out by our state-owned Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Corps, TRACE, in Ogun State, to make sure that we have less accident and of course attendant death. Like I said earlier, we have in the studio now the Corps Commander of TRACE, the Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Corps, Commander Olaseni Ogunyemi. You're welcome to the Daybreak show, Commander.
Thank you very much, Toby. Good morning, listeners.
All right, Commander. I may not have all the facts or the data talking about traffic crashes recorded. I might have that of Ogun State as released, that of Nigeria as released by FRSC. Well, can you just quickly let us into the data for Ogun State in particular, where you have as your terrain?
Thank you very much. Let us quickly look at this data for road traffic crashes between the span of 3 years, because I have every data between the span of 2006 to 2015 year, but you don't need to go into details that way. But let us look into the past 3 years. Let us look at 2013, 2014, 2015. The year 2013, as recorded and covered by TRACE in Ogun State, all what we recorded is the same thing with what police will record, because we are always together in terms of clearing road traffic crashes or any accident that occur within Ogun State territory. So we have the same data, and they will have more data than we have because they cover more areas that we covered. So definitely we have the same thing embedded into it. So for 2013 we have 485, and the offense committed is about 9,383. That is for 2013. For 2014, because we intensified the effort more and we have the roads are manageable around that time, we recorded just 409. That is, it decreases. It's increased in 2014 to 409, and 132 killed, decreased by 2. Then 742 injured, decreased also. Then offenders apprehended, decreased as well by 1,000. Then offense committed, decreased as well too by 1,002 plus. Then coming to 2015, The 2015 one, definitely we have good roads. We have the construction at Lagos Ibadan Expressway, yeah, on that, where they called it 444 traffic crashes. But we have less persons killed, that is, of fatal accidents. It's reduced to 206. Then those that are injured increased 839. Then offense committed increase 8,483. The offense apprehension is 11,000 plus. All this to say that we try to tell the people the problem here when we look at this data is an human problem. It's an human problem, and that has to do with our behavioral pattern and attitudinal pattern to driving culture. That is what we have for now.
Okay, Commander Ogunyemi, when you talk about human factor, one particular tool that can help shape the behavior of man and his attitude is education. What are you doing in that regard?
Well, I'm sorry to say in this part of the country now, people don't try to read again, people don't try to listen to news, people don't try to listen to anything that I've been doing, whether they print, both electronic and print media. And what we now intend to do is to go and meet the people where they are. We now concentrating first on the commercial drivers. Then we move to next year, by the grace of from January, we move to corporate organizations. So we've done whatever we're supposed to do in terms of our proposals. We've packaged everything. What we are doing, we want to do now, is to go and meet them where they are. That is their motor park, major motor parks in Ogun State, throughout Ogun State. We want to be there. We want to talk to the drivers and the passengers as well at the same time. And that is what we call direct contact dissemination of traffic safety information, so that we give them the numbers on the spot there. We talk to the driver, don't do this on the road. If you have problem, call us. Passengers, you and the vehicle, if you have problem, call us. We have points that from where you are going, from your origin to your destination, definitely you see trace along the corridors, so that you can call on us, we can track that person down. We want to link the garage with the trace. We want to link the trace with the passenger. We want to link the passenger with the drivers. And I think that will help this time around.
Okay, that's a great step, because a lot of people have complained about these commercial drivers, especially the truck drivers. What are you doing to check this minutes of truck drivers over speeding on the road and disobedience to traffic rules?
Yeah, honestly to say, the unions of the truck, they are doing a lot of great things. I want to talk about the activities of the TWAN, Truck Owners Association of Nigeria. I want to comment the Association of ASOGRASH too. They are doing in terms of enlightenment. But what do we have? They will tell you, these drivers coming, they are not from their own end. They are coming from another neighboring state, maybe Lagos State or your state band or whatever. But what we intend to do now is, we have talked that we are going to do a joint task force together during this period. This joint task force will assist us. Anyone that we apprehended definitely will not release the vehicle until after New Year.
Okay, the Ember months the Ember months are very peculiar because of the festive activities, people traveling from one part of the country to the other, and so it results into more death on the roads. How prepared are you for this festive season? We are just a few weeks away from Christmas and New Year.
That is what we've been saying. We are 100% prepared in terms of doing to intensify the enlightenment, that is direct contact, one. Then two, we are prepared that to slow them down a bit. You see what will happen. In fact, the construction of road is helping a lot now. You slow them down, there's nothing you can do, you have to slow them down, and along the line, because what they are doing is, they are always in haste. because people want to make more money. All the commercial drivers want to make more money because all their plans are being directed towards the activities. They want to do many things. They want to build their house. They want to complete their houses. They want to pay school fees. They want to buy new vehicles. That is why they are always in haste. So we are preaching the words of patience for them, and that is the reason why it is very, very important this time around. Not the driver, but the passengers.
Now, what is your role in restoring order on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Ogun State end of a larger chunk or a larger percentage of that road comes into Ogun State? You have, I think, 3 different religious organizations there that are having their end of the year programs. You have the Redemption Camp, the Holy Ghost Congress is on. You have the MFM Prayer City, and there will also be a program this weekend. Shiloh is also on at the Canaan land. That's a whole lot of traffic to manage. What is your role?
Yeah, our role is no different from other traffic agencies' roles. I just came back from a conference at Abuja yesterday night, and that is what we discussed. And what we do is we said we need to complement each other. The same role FRS will be playing, the same role Trace will be playing, the same role the police will be playing along that axis. And we've had series of meetings with all these religious bodies. Like we are talking about, we are too at Redeem now. Understand? We've mapped out the strategies, we've looked into the critical areas that we need to manage. We've posted alongside, in combination with the FRX. And we even told Last Mile Lagos to come in to some certain area, because the spillover effect of that will affect Lagos bound, and it always affects them. Because what happened last 1 or 2 weeks, the accident that happens at the Long Bridge, you can't believe the go-slow extended as far back to Terminal Bridge in Lagos. So they are suffering for that too. So they are coming in to complement efforts of Trace, to complement efforts of FRC, to complement efforts during this, and I believe that we'll be able to achieve tremendous mark there, remarkable mark.
For traffic enforcement corps like yours, you need a lot of manpower. That is one major challenge. How have you been able to cope with the issue of personnel available for you to actually effectively carry out your duties across the state?
Well, let me tell you one thing. It's professionalism on the job. When you know your honors, when you know the type of job you can do, you will not know the number of trails that we have in Ogun State. I will not mention the state. At the conference that I attended Abuja last week, one state up north there, they have about 3,871 personnel on their traffic management. They don't know what to do. I've told them to come and consult us. We consult for them. So we just map out. It is not how many, how sizable. It is the strategic planning that you do. Where do you want to add? So you know your critical point area, bottlenecks, and you spread. You understand? And you do that. But not still withstanding more hands in Trace. And the God Excellency, Senator Abdulfatai is looking to that for next year.
Now, beyond the issue of personnel, what other challenges that would you quickly identify that are some kind of putting a constraint on your duties?
Definitely challenges all of us. Some of them, there's challenges in terms of logistics, because and what we realize this time around is the government cannot do the issue of safety, road safety. When you see that well, there's some scholars are saying 90% accounted for road transportation system in this country, but to me I would say your movement starts from road and ends at road. So it accounts for 91.1%. You understand? And the government cannot switch it alone. The basis of establishing a business is to maximize profit. And one of the problems that can jeopardize to maximize that profit is logistics, is transport system. So transport is a fulcrum, is a center where all social or economic activities, all activities of development revolve around. And we need to key into that. And that's why we are asking all the companies. For goodness sake, we have 383 companies in Ogun State, residing in Ogun State. What are their CSR to road safety? What are their contribution to road safety? When you remove Lafarge and you remove Dangote, others, what are their contribution? So this is what we want to tap next year. Look, if we have 383 companies, and that companies are they've divided into about 10 sectors, whether textile, manufacturing, something, whether print, whether whatever, to 10 sectors. You understand? What are the contribution of each sector to the development of safety in Ogun State? This is the area that we are going to look into, and we are going to talk vividly with the Commissioner of Commerce and Industry to assist us to look into, and the Office of the PPP Initiative of the Ogun State government. We are going to sit down and map out this strategy and see, because the government cannot do everything alone. But the government of Ogun State is trying whatever in their capacity to do to identify the trace, and they believe that trace is really working without and with what we have.
Okay, one very, very disturbing trend that I have noticed in and around Abeokuta is the practice of parking on major roads. The service lanes, which are supposed to be used for different reasons, you now see some trucks littering or just lying fallow on the road. Some for days, some for weeks. They wash these trucks on the road, and then it also damages the road, which of course creates another problem. What are you doing? The Chuan and the Asogras that you talked about, what are you doing in eradicating this particular menace?
You see, we are trying, and that is the fault of, that is what I'm trying to say, that the Cassitran people, the Cassitran drivers, you will not believe it. Every day in, day out. Let us take, for example, is not after Yanomoshwari coming to Ijayi. Yes. There's a bridge there. When you are coming from Yanomoshwari coming to Ijayi, there's a bridge there. They normally park there, all these trucks, with the morning, afternoon, evening, night. Even the Excellency Central, I'm also observe that and charge us with that responsibility. We call the unions, they disassociate themselves with that. Every blessed day, we pick one or two. If still come back there, we pick. I think next year we are going to do maybe what we do.
Can't you tow the trucks? And
we tow. That is what we do. We tow, they pay.
Heavy fines.
Heavy fine. You can see what I did for those that climb through one way. That is by saying they should go and do psychiatric evaluation at Timo Psychiatric Hospital, Arrow, whatever. It's what we are going to do for them, but they are not going to go to Arrow. By the time we get another legislative that any vehicle that we impounded, you understand, under will not be released until some certain measures have been made. By the time when they know that they are losing for 1 or 2 months on their business, I believe. And maybe we just say that is on one part, the other side we just go and prosecute them without option of fine. 2 weeks is enough to go to what we call this White House. It's enough for them. You know, sir? Because we need to change our side now. We need to change our orientation. The problem we have is human. I continue saying it. We don't have it is our behavior and our attitude.
Now, beyond the Environmental Sanitation Day, which is compulsory for everyone living in Ogun State, is the mobile court still operational?
Very, very operational.
Is it restricted to the Environmental Sanitation Day, or it works every day?
No, restricted to environmental. We want to resuscitate it for this December, and the governor has promised that with the Commissioner of Attorney General, Commissioner for Justice, that we want to be moving mobile courts now, so that especially Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, you understand, especially where we have gridlock, Sango, Abeokuta Road, you understand, then we don't have problem within Metropolis because we have mobile courts seated already at Ishabo. So we are making use of that. But we want to be moving down the caravan, we move it to Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and it is going to be a joint effort of FRSC, it is going to be a joint effort of police, of everybody that is controlling it, and VIO too, everybody. So it's going to be a joint, or you see them. It is not to make money, because people say, they are looking for money. No, it's to create sanity on the road.
All right, we'll have to go on a break for the national news right about now. After the national news, we'll come back, and we'll still have in the studio the co-commander of TRACE, that's the Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Corps, TRACE, Commander Olaseni Ogunyemi. Stay with us, we'll be back. On the Daybreak show this beautiful Thursday morning, we still have in the studio the Corps Commander of TRACE, Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Corps, Commander Olaseni Ogunyemi. Commander Ogunyemi, one issue that we're yet to look at is the issue of incorporating members of the public into your campaigns and in ensuring safety on our roads. How are you going about this?
Yeah, thank you very much on that topic and that question. You will know that we have what we call trace mayors, that is a replica of special marshals, voluntary arms of traffic management in Ogun State. We have trace mayors all over Ogun State, especially Ijebu, Abeokuta, Ailaru, Shagam, all major cities, towns in Ogun State. So we are putting them on board for this, and they are always on the road too, because I still saw them last week when I went to Jabode during the needful. And for this religious activities too, we have them at Redeem Camp too, Redemption Church. So they are working together with us. But what we have done, one thing now that we want to, next year too, we are partnering with the Ministry of Community Development and Cooperative on the aspect of community-based traffic management scheme, where we do what the police do, that is community policing. We want to do community traffic management too, so that in that community we have representatives of TRACE, their voluntary arms, so that they be giving us information as to what the community, has to do with in terms of road safety. And it will going to help the state government, especially Minister of Works too, and Bureau of Transportation too, in all ramifications, all agencies within Ogun State, to tap into it so that we can have this community traffic management scheme. And we're going to inaugurate that with the assistance of the Ministry of Community and Cooperative Development next year. We've done what we're supposed to do, so we're giving the commissioner that paper so that we can set up, we can inaugurate that. The community and the commissioner will discuss with the ESCO. We are working on that. I've discussed with him one-on-one, but I'm still going to give him the proposal. But notwithstanding, that's what we're going to do. But normally, we still going to work on our trace mayors. That is what we're going to do for this December. So the trace mayors, the voluntary arms, they are coming together with us. We continue to see them. I said they should wait a lot. From on the first week, is on the 19th. We'll see them from on the 19th and span through January 3rd. So see all our trace mayors on the road, span through January 3rd. So no problem. We still want more to come and join voluntary. When you say voluntary, you say yes. you devote your time. You devote your time.
Okay. Now, one complaint that I've actually that we've received here on this platform is the issue of extortion in your agency, especially a part of many of your personnel who are on some flashpoints that are notorious for traffic offense. How are you tackling this?
Yeah, thank you very much. I had this still, but I had it often, and there's no single report bring to me to actually nail them. But notwithstanding what we've done as this with the Ministry of Justice, and even I wrote to the Commissioner of Justice, Attorney General, and he has written back that we are going to be trying them with anti-graft, because a uniformed personnel extorting money, and if you are caught, the problem we have is when you report them on Dex Media now, their quality, you will not come forward to defend that. And how do you prosecute? That's the problem. Unless we have, what we have done is to have a private surveillance on the road, monitoring, outside from TRACE. Because if I use TRACE, we may not be able to get the real answer, but I have hints outside they are giving me. Within the society, they are giving me, you understand? Hints with evidence. So we are working on that. Those ones that we've apprehended on that extortion, we'll bundle them, send them to, without somebody to come and witness. All those ones will go to the ministry, to the commission, to the Civil Service Commission. But those ones that can stand, you go to court immediately. And so far that
for prosecution.
So we have the law that said they should go for prosecution.
If you were to evaluate the level of compliance with Ogun State traffic laws in Ogun State, how would you rate Ogun State motorists?
Honestly, they are good people. The indigent, those ones that are residing in Ogun State, I think they are doing very well in cooperating with our operatives. But maybe those ones that comes in, breeze in, breeze out, these are the ones that are giving us challenges. And other that are giving us challenges, we've done that. There's no problem about that, because we have a passionate CP now. CP Yasur, very compassionate and very passionate about this job, and is giving me 100% support on that, because we have the problem of the essential agencies, the personnel that they are going on essential duties, the uniform or non-uniform. These are those people that have been given us challenges. And he told me frankly, if any of his formation is giving us problem, I should report direct to him. The same thing to the director of DSS. If headed, they said we should report, because we have a forum that we are meeting, a security forum headed by the CP. So we don't have problem on that, and we're going to tackle on that. So I want to commend the people of Ogun, but I want them to do more, so that it is the problem we have is lack of timing. You don't plan your time. That is the problem, and that is why you see people driving indiscriminately, unnecessarily, recklessly, dangerously, because they want to catch up with the limited time they have. Take for instance, you are giving me today that I should be here 9:30. I move from my house, from my office 8 o'clock. From Ibarra to get here should not less be maybe about 15 minutes or 10 minutes.
Yes.
Smooth drive. But I still move ahead. And I was here 30 minutes or 40 minutes before the program, just gisting with you people. You understand? Relaxing myself. So that is the problem. That is the problem. We lack to plan for our time. And if you lack to plan for your time, you have problem with trace.
Okay, now one other issue quickly before we allow the people to ask their questions is the issue of parking controllers. We understand that there's some kind of arrangement or synergy with you. How have you been able to work together? We've also received complaints about their own activities also.
Yeah, they are contractors to state government, under the auspices or the supervision of the Bureau of Transportation, headed by the Special Advisor on Transportation, Barrister being questionable. And the law of parking is on the trace law that says oversee, facilitate parking arrangement in all roads in Ogun State. But trace cannot do it all regularly on. That is why it has been conceptualized a little bit. We still do it on our own to them, and they are contractors. Well, they are doing what they're supposed to do. That is, you park very well. A line has been demarcated that this is a parking slot for you. Then when you go there, you plug and you pay for parking. And that is their work. But when they see any obstruction that they call on trace, that is what they should do, and that is what I believe they are doing. They call on trace and for necessary prosecution or whatever operation we need to do.
Well, would you say that they've been able to help in your own responsibilities and duties?
Well,
or do you think
I will say it is a complementary effort. You understand?
Okay.
They are complementing what we're supposed to do, because we already say you park and pay. You have to park to pay, but our own, you don't park to pay. Our own is to make sure that you park properly. You can see this difference. The law says make sure they park properly. No obstruction.
That's their own mandate.
That is our own.
Okay, your own mandate.
Park properly, no obstruction, no impediment to free flow of traffic. They now tap the parking into payment.
Okay.
On their own. You understand? That is what we call the PPP initiative. It's either PSP or PPP initiative of the government. Okay. If you decide to park on this major road, okay, you park, you pay. You understand? That is different ballgame. You understand? They must park you properly, and you have to pay for that service. Our own is park properly, No obstruction, no impediment. Let me start with the first caller, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson made mention of trace removing and this parking management scheme, removing number plates, whether lawful or not. Well, not lawful. I will tell you that it's not lawful. You don't have the right to remove anybody's number plate. The number plate is meant for you. But when you see our operatives removing number plates, they are removing number plates for not being damaged so that they can tow the vehicle successfully, because that number plate is meant for you. So we remove so that we can tow the vehicle successfully. We have no right to be removing number plates. But we have in our law that says you can do whatever within the ambit of your law to do apprehension. You understand? So we have to that. But no, removing of number plates is unlawful, and I stand by that. But when we remove for a purpose. One, we remove in the when we have an accident at the scene of an accident, we remove before evacuation. But when you see them removing, not that they are removing, they must remove to tow the vehicle. So that is the purpose of removing. But you don't remove and leave the vehicle there. That is not lawful. I want to assure that no agency has the right, or any agency by law has the right to remove your number plates. So I stand by that. Yeah, the second man, Alaji Broker, thank you very much. You commended our efforts. You mentioned about your interest in becoming a trace mayor. We call it trace mayor, and they call it special marshals in FRSC, and we say that we complement each other. We have a department that we call trace mayors and stakeholders unit. When you come to our headquarters at OGBC, you'll be given a form, and unnecessary modalities will be given to you. So we need as much as many persons. I want to assure you, but because you normally call us, so we get it straight. So then you mentioned about the mobile courts and the movement of services of the justice. That is, we want to leave that one too, because we have the collaborative efforts and what we're doing with the Ministry of Justice and Judicial Commission. So we have them. The magistrates are there moving with us all the times. So we just want to make sure that we resuscitate that one. Every month you'll be seeing trace, VIO, road safety together on this mobile traffic court scheme. And like I said before, then we have the one that are resided at Ishaba. We call them mobile traffic courts. So they are there. We move our offenders straight to them, even the police too, and FRS to move to them. But now we want to be moving from one place to another. That's why we want to start from next year. Then, Mr. Inyodan, fine. We still need to talk to our operatives and all others too. I believe FRSC bus is listing, VIO bus, VIO 2, they are all listing the way and manner to stop a vehicle. You don't use a vehicle to stop a vehicle. And if you want to stop a vehicle, definitely you must make sure that the safety of that person behind matters and your own safety matters too. So we still need to talk to them on that aspect. But what you normally see is that they will put hands to stop. This vehicle will not stop. That is what you normally see. It's not that they don't know what to do. They know what to do. But when it happens, we will be blaming the traffic enforcement agency, but not actually. But I want the people to comply. When they see them stop, just stop. They will ask you. They will tell you what you did. And that's not there. If you feel that you are not, you are on your right way, they have their office. Let them impound your vehicle and come to the office and make your complaints. And definitely, you are being fair. Even in trees, we are being fair. Even if you are given a ticket and you know that you're supposed not to be ticketed, definitely we release your vehicle, and we sanction the person that did the wrong thing. So we've been firm about that. So Mr. Gafar, yeah, we have robust synergy between FRC, Trace, VIO, and the police in Ogun State. So we have we complement each other. So there's no conflict of interest whatsoever. So just get that one. You can even see us together doing the same thing. That is what we call joint enforcement, and that's what you are going to be seeing from Monday now. You'll be seeing everybody together. You see VIO, you see FRC, you see police, you see Trace together. One, or two in every bit. You see them together. So there's no conflict of interest. We are doing it for one purpose. And we are not doing it. It's a social service. We are not doing it because of money. We talk about those infants putting their on the laps. Yes, well, anyone that we caught, we call them. About 3 months ago, I caught one woman myself under the bridge Ibarra. I apprehended the vehicle. I cancelled the woman. I didn't book. I warned. And I noticed that the black just crying. So you see, because that is the reason I said, it is dangerous, madam. Instead of doing that, you pack, feed, then put the baby seat on the back and put him there, strap him there, and there won't be any problem. So they still did more concern on that. I will work on that. So we did. The emission on articulated vehicle goes a fearless definitely have been briefed and I've informed because my divisional commander of Obatoko told me about this, and I've instructed him to write to the office, to their depot, and to warn them that they should move away or the people at Obatoko. You see, the people, the motorists, that is, they don't want to comply. It is just sheer indiscipline. If we maintain lane discipline, if there's lane discipline, there won't be any problem on that axis. But when you don't maintain lane discipline, that is indiscipline on your part, definitely you will be arrested. You will apprehend your vehicle. You understand? And the problem is we are intensifying this one now, that everybody should always be going with his original driver's license, because we have so many things that we can impound without impounding your vehicle. If you have your original general license, one, you can do that. If you have your identity card that bears a very reputable organization, we can impound that instead of taking your vehicle or removing number plates to tow your vehicle. I've told you, removal of number plates is unlawful, but we remove to tow. You understand? If you see them removing, definitely they don't want to damage. They don't want the tow vehicle to damage that something. So that is the purpose of that. So I think they are hearing from that. At Obatoko, please let us maintain lane discipline. If we maintain lane discipline, nobody will tend to confiscate your vehicle or do unnecessary. So let us maintain discipline on that. Quickly, to improve the prestige, yeah, riders, motorists, fine. Yeah, we are doing that, and we are working on that. That our prestige that is up there is continuing to go up, not to go down again. And that is what we've continued to do. And what we've done now is we've done that to appeal to the government on what we should do on the riders, especially commercial motorcycle riders, so that we want to stem down on the accidents that they have at that time, and so on and so forth. So that one is for what I've done on that. I want to mention that on the here now. Then young men driving truck, fine. Yes, that is the purpose, and we are calling a meeting, joint meeting of orgs with the unions next week, probably Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know the time my PRO has fixed for them, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. So it's calling a meeting to address all those issues, because anyone that we caught now, we had not even booked them, they'll be prosecuted. But we need to meet with them, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. The speed limiting, well, it's starting January 1, because that one is starting from the next year, January. Then FRSA Atugere menace, definitely the sector commander is listening. I will pass your information to them. The menace of FRSA Atugere, they will look into that. So we will say a remarkable improvement on their work at Atugere. Then on the trace, that it is more of revenue than social service. It is social service. It is not more of revenue. It is not to punish, it is to correct. We are using a corrective measure initiative scheme, not to punish you. But at the same time, if you don't want to listen, you will be punished. I used to say this, and I will continue to be saying all these things. I still said this thing at Abuja. Road safety was created for goodness sake 28 years ago. Last man, another one, about 16 years ago. Trace, now 11 years ago. We are still preaching the same thing. But why should we be telling you to be strifing your state bet all the time? You have to pay heavily for that. You have to pay heavily for that, just to correct you. You understand? Why should we be saying at this moment that don't take one way? Why should we be saying at this moment don't put your children on your laps or on your laps? It is good on, it is unnecessary. You understand? It is unnecessary, and that means we don't have road sense. As we need to do that, we need to enforce strategy. And by the time we are doing that, you'll be seeing that we are making money for the government. Yes. For goodness sake, comply. If you comply, no money. The government established TRACE not because to generate revenue. Not our revenue that we are generating is what they are paying us. The government is paying our salary. Either we generate or we don't generate, we collect our salary. The government is doing that on their own social support to the people. That is why trace is there. You understand for you? But you must comply with the rules and regulation of the road. If you comply, no fine. But if you don't comply, you'll be fined. Why should you take one way? You pay heavily. So that is the problem. So let us comply. If you comply, especially at Obantoko, comply at Obantoko. The problem we have there, we've noticed that the governor is passionate about that. We know all that. We need expansion for that road. We need expansion, and the government is trying that between Adaton to Oshiele Band. Yes, they will expand the road. If they expand the road, there won't be any problem again, because we have influx of vehicles. We have more people. The population of that place is very high now. The population is very high. That's why we have more vehicles coming at that place within the hours of 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and between the hours of 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. please, for goodness sake. And what is the problem? It is sheer indiscipline. If you maintain a lane and be moving gradually, there won't be any problem. You will not spend more than 25 minutes before you get to your house. But by the time you circumvent and you now block at Alogi, we all know the problem that we are facing at Alogi. That we continue to do the palliative. The palliative cannot solve the problem again, because they've done the palliative many times at Alogi, and they continue. The government did it, the FEMA did it, the government did it back last week. It's still the same thing. Do you understand? So we need to expand that road, and we need people to take exercise patience within that axis and to maintain lane discipline. Thank you.
Okay, let us wrap it up with